Ever feel like you're, piecing together English conversations bit by bit, and you just wish you could grasp how it all flows, like getting the inside scoop on everyday chats? Okay, let's unpack this, because that's exactly what we're doing today.
Yeah, we've got this really extensive collection of English conversation practice phrases. We're talking over 1,000 of them.
Wow.
Think of it like getting access to the blueprints, sort of countless real-life exchanges. It covers everything from, basic greetings to some surprisingly specific questions.
Exactly. And for you, our listener, the learner, our aim today is to go beyond just, reading these phrases aloud. We really want to pull out the key insights. How do English conversations actually work? How do you ask things naturally? What are the unspoken rules for responding? We're going to explore a huge range of topics and hopefully give you a real feel for the rhythm of spoken English.
Yeah.
Consider this your shortcut, maybe, to feeling more comfortable and confident jumping into conversations.
And what's fascinating here, I think, isn't just the sheer number of phrases, but the natural progression they show.
How so?
Well, you see how simple interactions kind of build into more detailed ones. It's much like how conversations unfold in the real world, right?
Makes sense. So let's start at the very beginning then. Greetings.
Okay.
You see the classic, hi, how are you? And then the response, hello, I'm doing great, thank you. It's almost like a little dance, isn't it?
It really is. A predictable exchange sets a positive tone.
And while it might seem really obvious, this repetition you see in the source material, it's actually a pretty powerful way for your brain to absorb these fundamental patterns.
Precisely. It's about more than just memorizing words. It's internalizing that back and forth, the expected flow of a greeting. Then we quickly move into those core getting to know you questions.
Yeah.
What do you do? How old are you? What's your name?
God.
The basics. Where are you from? Where do you live? Yeah. These are the essential building blocks for making those first connections.
They really are. And notice how direct these initial questions often are. They get straight to the point. In many English-speaking cultures, this directness is, it's a common way to efficiently gather basic info when you meet someone new.
That's a good point. And then you start to see slightly more personal inquiries creep in, like, are you friendly? Or do you have any siblings?
Right. These give you a glimpse into how you might ask about someone's personality or their family in English.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these early questions are really all about establishing a basic understanding of the other person.
Their role, their background.
Exactly. Their potential connections. You're kind of laying the groundwork for more interaction later.
Okay. Shifting gears a little bit now. Let's think about location and identification.
Sure.
We have simple questions like, where is Paris? Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah. Factual.
But then we also see things like, who is that man? And this highlights the importance of, context in language. One's a factual question about geography. The other relies completely on a shared visual environment. You both have to see the man.
Exactly. And that raises an important point for you, the learner. Notice how those question words, like where and who, immediately signal the type of information needed. Where asks for a place. Who asks for a person's identity. Keeping those connections in mind can really help you both understand and formulate questions more effectively.
Good tip. Okay, moving on to requests and permissions. This is where we see language being used to, get things done.
Right. Practical stuff.
Questions like, can you find it?
Yeah.
That's a direct request. Then you have, can I borrow some money, please?
Yeah, the please.
Yeah. Adding please here is such a key marker of politeness. It shows consideration for the other person. It's a small word, but it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And the potential responses shown in the material, they illustrate different social dynamics too. No, I'm busy now, sets a boundary.
Right.
Well, okay. How much would you like to borrow? Shows, a willingness to help.
Then we have permission-seeking questions like, may I put it here?
Or may I go with you? You'll often hear may used in more formal situations, or maybe when you want to sound particularly respectful.
Makes sense. Time and scheduling are also just fundamental parts of daily life, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So we see questions about when things happen, like when does it begin, or what time should I ring you later?
And notice how the answers tend to be direct, providing specific time information.
Yeah. Asking what time should I ring you later also shows you being kind of mindful of the other person's schedule. It's subtle, but it's an important social cue.
It really is. And what's interesting here is how these questions often reflect underlying social norms. Asking about a good time to call, for instance, demonstrates respect for someone's time. We also have those forward-looking questions like, will it rain today? Or when will you go? These dig into predictions and future plans using will to talk about what's expected or intended.
Okay. Now for something a bit more personal, opinions and preferences.
Ah, yes. Getting subjective.
A question like, what do you think of the new game? Invites someone to share their viewpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have direct questions about likes and dislikes. Do you like reading? Or do you like coffee? These are great for finding common ground, building connections.
These types of questions are just crucial for social interaction, aren't they?
Yeah.
Understanding someone's opinions, their preferences, it helps us connect with them on a more personal level.
Yeah, definitely.
It lets us discover shared interests and, build rapport.
Okay, let's dive into abilities and actions. This section's packed. We'd see a whole range of questions about skills. Can you cook? Can you dance? What else? Can you play cricket? Can you swim?
Can you drive?
Yeah.
Can you use a computer?
Even can you speak slowly? Now that one is a really direct way for a language learner for you to advocate for your needs.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheer variety of skills listed here just highlights the many different things we might ask about in everyday conversation.
Yeah.
Then we shift to questions about what's happening right now. Things like, what are you doing? Or what's going on here?
And that ing, ending.
Exactly. The use of the in, ending, and doing and that phrase going on signals that we're asking about a current ongoing activity.
And of course, we can't forget about the past. What did you do yesterday?
Or what did you order at the restaurant?
Where did you find your lost keys? Which subject did you study last night? And notice how the verb changes, like using did or ordered to show we're talking about something that already happened.
And pay attention to those question words again. What, where, which. Each one guides the answer toward a specific type of information, an action, a location, a choice.
Right.
Recognizing these patterns will significantly improve your comprehension and your ability to ask targeted questions yourself.
Definitely helpful. Okay, let's talk about possessions and where things are. Simple stuff, but essential. Where's your bag?
Whose phone is ringing?
Whose book is on the table? Are these books yours?
Yeah.
These just help us identify ownership and locate objects around us.
And then we have questions about where things were put or seen in the past, like where did you put your phone?
Or where did you see the rainbow?
These involve memory and observation. And again, that use of did put and did see clearly places these actions back in the past.
Okay, now we're getting to the why behind things. Reasons and explanations.
Motivation.
Why are you laughing? Why did you leave early? Why did you stay home?
Why did you forget your homework?
Oh.
Even, why do you want to learn English?
Yeah. These why questions really dig into motivations and causes, don't they?
They really do. They encourage a deeper understanding and show, genuine interest in the other person's thoughts and actions.
Uh-huh.
And what's interesting is the wide range of potential responses these questions can bring out. It gives you insight into different perspectives and motivations.
Absolutely. And this leads us really nicely into daily routines and habits. This section is it's packed with questions about regular activity.
It really is comprehensive.
Yeah. Instead of listing every single one, maybe think about the broad categories they cover. You've got personal care.
Like, do you wash your hands?
Daily tasks. Do you do the dishes? Social interactions. Do you call anyone? Leisure activities. Do you go to the park?
Right.
It gives you a fantastic overview of the kinds of things people routinely ask and talk about regarding their day-to-day.
And this detailed exploration of daily routines provides invaluable insight into the rhythm of everyday life in English-speaking contexts.
Yeah.
It's not just about the specific actions, but also about understanding what's considered, typical and worth discussing.
Right. And then we move into the specifics of school and work life. For school, you see questions about enjoying the day, interacting with friends, teachers.
Homework, specific subjects.
Exactly. Think about how these questions help build a picture of a student's daily experience and their engagement with learning and social stuff.
And the level of detail here, even in seemingly simple questions like, did you share your lunch? It really highlights the social fabric of the school environment. It's about understanding those interactions and relationships that make up a student's day.
And for the working world, the questions range from the practical, working hours, commuting.
And personal preferences like working from home versus the office.
Yeah. These questions are key for navigating professional environments and just understanding workplace culture.
Very much so. These work-related questions are highly practical and relevant for anyone interacting in English in a professional setting. They cover essential aspects of employment and workplace communication.
Okay, looking ahead now, future plans and intentions.
Right. What's next?
Questions like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When are you going to complete the work?
When are you going to get married?
Yeah. Are you going with them? They all focus on what people intend to do in the future. And you notice the use of going to and will to express these future actions.
Absolutely. And understanding the nuances between going to, which is often for more immediate or already decided plans, and will, maybe for more general predictions or intentions, that's a key aspect of mastering the future tense in English.
Good distinction. Now let's consider possessions and needs. Simple questions about having things.
Like, do you have a smartphone? Or do you have any siblings?
And about needing things. Do you need water? Do you need a break? These are just essential for daily interactions and, offering support.
Yeah, these questions highlight the practical role of language in expressing our own needs and asking about the needs of others. Even a simple question like, don't you have change, is a common, polite way to check if someone has something available.
Right. Okay. Preferences. Everyone has them. This section explores what people like.
Finding common ground.
Yeah. Instead of listing all the favorite food, season, music, movie, think about how these questions help us understand someone's personal tastes and connect with them on a more individual level.
These questions are just fundamental for building relationships, discovering shared interests. Learning how to ask about and express preferences is a vital social skill. It can lead to much more engaging conversations.
Definitely. Getting to know someone also means understanding their personal attributes, their habits.
Right, personality stuff.
Questions like, how would you describe yourself? Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Are you usually optimistic or pessimistic?
Mm-hmm.
These help us understand someone's character and their daily rhythms.
They offer a deeper insight into someone's personality and how they approach the world, don't they?
Yeah, they allow for a more nuanced understanding beyond just the basic facts.
Okay, reflecting on the past now, experiences and events.
Looking back.
Questions like, what happened to you? How was your day? And then a whole variety of dead questions.
Oh, yeah. Did you paint the room? What did you break? Did he apologize?
Exactly. They help us share narratives and understand things that have already occurred.
And these past tense questions are just crucial for sharing stories, recounting events. The sheer variety of verbs used provides excellent examples of how to talk about the past in English.
True. And finally, let's look at current actions and states. What's happening right now?
The present moment.
Questions like, is your brother playing video games? Where's your mom cooking?
Are you drinking coffee or tea?
How are you feeling today? Are you busy now? Are you hungry? They all capture the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that I start inning structure is really key for talking about actions happening right now.
That present continuous tense, yeah. It helps us understand what's unfolding in the immediate moment. It's a fundamental way to connect with others about their current activities and states of being.
We also saw a question about beliefs in there. Do you believe in luck?
Right.
Which just shows how conversations can sometimes touch on more abstract ideas, personal philosophies.
Yeah. Even a single example like that demonstrates the potential for exploring deeper, maybe more philosophical topics, even in everyday chat.
And lastly, those practical questions.
Yeah.
Requests for assistance?
The real workhorses.
How can I get involved?
Ugh.
Can you help me? Where is the station?
Where can I find the restroom? Can I speak to Mike, please?
Yeah. These are the questions that help us navigate our daily needs and interactions. Super practical.
Absolutely essential for getting information, asking for help, and just navigating the world around us. They empower you, the listener, to interact effectively in all sorts of situations.
Wow. Okay. We've really covered a huge amount of conversational territory there.
We really have.
This collection, it truly demonstrates the incredible range of everyday English.
Indeed. And for you, the learner, this deep dive offers just a rich set of practical examples. It shows how English is used in countless real-life situations.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen how questions are structured, how responses are naturally formed, and how conversations flow across all sorts of topics.
Yeah. We hope this is giving you some real aha moments, and maybe a clearer understanding of the mechanics of English conversation.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. And the great thing is you can revisit this anytime. Maybe focus on questions about, say, past events one day, or drill down on questions about preferences another time.
Exactly. It's a resource you can keep coming back to as you continue your learning journey.
Which leads us to a final thought for you. Considering all the different types of conversational exchanges we've explored today, Which ones do you feel would be most immediately useful in your own life? Or which areas are you now most curious to maybe delve into further?
Yeah, thinking of the practical application of what you've heard today. That's a powerful next step.